Let's talk a little about the surprising breaks. Well, what prevails in almost every surprise break is the fact that one of the parties does not see it coming. Well, now that you have a general idea of why these kinds of breakups occur, let's talk about what to do when they happen. What to do if your ex surprised you. Yes, it is true that I have my own opinions on how things should be done after a breakup and, for the most part, I have been very successful in guiding people the right way. It is for this reason that in this episode I will speak about self-realization, since it is an important part of what you should do. What is self-realization? A fully self-realized human being must perceive reality efficiently and accept himself, with all its peculiarities and forms, no matter how much reality can deviate from his ideal vision of himself. Only then have they reached their full potential as a person. In other words, being able to really accept yourself for who you are and, at the same time, agreeing with that will mean that you are close to self-actualizing. Someone who has achieved self-realization will understand reality and not only accept it, but will agree with it. But what does this have to do with you and your breakup? We have seen many ruptures of the surprise type over the years, and we begin to notice certain trends that are valid with this type of ruptures. For example, we noticed that people who are surprised by their ex, which means they had no idea that the break would happen, are actually more likely to become obsessed with their ex. Obsession often leads to despair, and despair drives men and women away. Instead of being so obsessed with your ex, I recommend you start my famous rule of no contact. This is the premise of our world-famous no contact rule. You have to ignore your ex from 21 to 45 days. The idea here is to increase the chances of missing you and at the same time facilitate your own personal growth. Once again, if you want a complete summary of how it works, we will simply explain it to you in detail in our program. Well, now that you know how the no contact rule fits into this, where does self-realization fit in? Well, assuming you are complying with the no contact rule, you will have between 21 and 45 days to start your self-realization training. So how does self-realization come into play here? Well, I believe in letting you go through your own process. Even if you think you probably shouldn't go back to your ex, I strongly believe you should reach that conclusion on your own. And I'm definitely not going to let you try to get your ex back the wrong way. Self-realization will take away the focus on your ex and focus firmly on you. It will force you to recognize that your entire existence does not revolve around your relationship with your ex. In other words, you will not be so codependent with the relationship you had with your ex. Which, believe me, is a huge problem. You will heal and, in a strange way, you will pass the break. And I know this may sound counterproductive, but you will actually make your ex want to come back to you. So how do I realize myself? Well, let me tell you that we identify common qualities for you to achieve, such as the ability to see life more clearly. It is also important that you keep in mind that self-realized people agree with their own peculiarities and have a high level of acceptance for all kinds of things. Let's see those things you should do. 1. Self-development. If you could have 3 categories to divide your life into, the possibilities you would choose: health, wealth, relations. So, if you look at these 3 categories, and if you want to see extreme personal growth, every action you take should be aimed at improving in each category. 2. Eliminate ego defenses. We all have these ego defenses that we use to protect ourselves from the truth. The only purpose the ego serves is to protect you from the truth and avoid the reality of the situation. And by avoiding reality, it will be impossible for you to accept it, which is an important part of self-realization. 3. Identify and understand your maximum experience. This is a moment in your life when you feel completely comfortable, and by feeling comfortable and at peace you experience joy and happiness. This is a transitory moment in which you accept reality for what it is. It is also important to keep in mind that at this moment you are almost exactly the opposite of this. 4. Make your uniqueness your strength. One of the most amazing things about human beings is the fact that we are all unique in our own way. Now, society is a funny thing because it has this ideal version of how you expect it to be a human being. This almost goes against reality because there are never 2 human beings alike. We give you the knowledge of great experts and people who have managed to win back your ex and who can also help you in this difficult time. Click here below and benefit from our experience and our proven strategy. You deserve the opportunity of a happy future with your ex. Subscribe, share and comment. Thank you.